What happens if you touch a downed power line? Picture this. A storm just passed. The street is wet, branches everywhere. One wire is lying across the road like it is tired of pretending to be useful. And your brain, in one bright little moment of confidence, decides it is just a cable, just a line, just something you can step over, or move, or touch. That is usually how this starts. Not with evil, not with heroism, with one bad assumption wearing a casual face. Because downed power lines do not look dramatic enough. Sometimes no sparks, no buzzing, no movie effects. Just a wire on the ground minding its own business, while quietly waiting to ruin somebody's family group chat forever. And that is the trick. You cannot tell by looking whether a downed line is energized. Safety guidance is brutally simple. Assume every downed line is live, always. So you walk closer. Maybe because you are curious. Maybe because your car is nearby. Maybe because something you love is on the other side. A phone, a dog, a child's bike, your own stupid confidence. And now the ground itself becomes part of the problem. Because electricity does not just stay inside the wire. A downed line can energize the area around it, including the ground. And safety organizations warn that zone can extend up to about 35 feet, even farther in wet conditions. That means you do not even need to grab the line. You do not even need to be brave enough for that. You just need to be close enough. 1 foot here, 1 foot there. 2 points on energized ground with slightly different voltages. Your body becomes the shortcut. Congratulations. You have just volunteered to be part of the circuit. And electricity loves shortcuts. It does not care about your plans. It does not care that you were just trying to help. It moves through conductive paths. If your body offers one, it takes it. Fast, silent, efficient. Like bureaucracy, but with fire. This is the part people misunderstand. They imagine one big zap, one cinematic jolt. Then maybe they jump back and learn a lesson. That fantasy is sponsored by people who have never met real current. Real electrical contact can lock muscles, disrupt breathing, damage tissue, and interfere with the heart's normal rhythm. Even lower household voltages can cause muscle tetany that makes it harder to let go. High voltage raises the stakes even further. So no, this is not always a clean, dramatic scream and a backward flip. Sometimes it is worse. Sometimes it is confusion first. A body that stops obeying, hands that do not open, legs that do not coordinate, a brain that knows something is wrong while the rest of you is suddenly negotiating with physics from a very weak position. Mentally, the moment is ugly. Because your brain is built for ordinary danger. A barking dog, a speeding car, a person yelling run. Not invisible energy turning dirt into a weapon. So there is a delay, a stupid little delay, the kind that lasts half a second. Sometimes that is enough. Public service moment. If you ever see a downed power line, do not touch it. Do not touch anything touching it. Do not walk toward puddles, fences, cars, tree limbs, or metal objects connected to it. Move away and call emergency services. That is not paranoia. That is basic respect for electricity. Now let us make the scene worse. Because people rarely suffer alone. Someone sees you go down. They panic. They run in. They do the most human thing possible. They try to help with their hands. And now there are 2 victims. That is one of the cruelest parts of electrical accidents. Compassion, when mixed with ignorance, becomes a delivery system. Touching a person or object that is still energized can put the rescuer in danger too. OSHA warns workers to avoid approaching or touching equipment or loads in an energized zone unless proper procedures confirm safety. This was never just your mistake anymore. Now it is a chain reaction, a social injury, one bad choice recruiting more bodies, the kind of event that leaves witnesses talking in unfinished sentences for years. And then there is the car scenario. Because people love cars, people trust cars. Cars feel safe, until a live wire lands on one. If a power line falls onto your vehicle, safety guidance says the safest place is usually inside the vehicle, unless there is fire. If you must exit, you are told to jump clear without touching the vehicle and ground at the same time. Land with both feet together, then shuffle or bunny hop away. That is to reduce the danger from step potential. Yes, there is an official emergency technique that sounds like your dignity died first. Tiny shuffle steps, feet together, no dramatic running, no proud stride into the future, just survival by awkward hopping. Because sometimes staying alive looks ridiculous. Take the deal anyway. And here is the moral sting. Most people who end up in these situations are not trying to do something evil. They are trying to save time, help somebody, move debris, get home, look capable. That is what makes it dark. Ordinary intentions, catastrophic interface. The real danger is not recklessness in the cartoon sense. It is confidence without knowledge. It is urgency without caution. It is the little voice that says, "It's probably fine." That voice has buried a lot of people. Another PSA. If you see a downed line, stay far back. Utility and safety groups recommend keeping at least 35 feet away, and more if the ground is wet. Assume the line is energized. Call 911 or your local utility. Do not drive over it. Do not move it with a stick. Do not become a cautionary tale in sweatpants. Because that is the final truth here. Electricity does not negotiate. It does not care that you meant well. It does not reward courage when the courage is stupid. It does not pause because you are a parent, a teenager, a good neighbor, or the kind of person people call reliable. It only asks one question. Are you in the path? If the answer is yes, the lesson arrives before the understanding does. So here is the blunt version. A downed power line is not a piece of trash, not a loose cable, not a problem to solve with confidence. It is an invisible kill zone wearing the costume of an inconvenience. See the wire, back away, call for help, and let your ego survive the embarrassment. That is a much better funeral. Have you ever seen a downed power line in real life? Or did you ever believe you could tell whether one was live just by looking at it? Tell me in the comments, and be honest. This one could save somebody else from learning the hard way.